on the camera. Grateful roast. Yes. I get to hang out with Brian. I feel so special.
So it's Timmy Mattos. Timmy. Thank you for pulling through.
It's all good, man. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know about these chairs. My wife and I are talking about actually getting a couch.
Ooh.
So what are you drinking?
I am having a sugar-free caramel triple shot latte.
You get loaded up on that triple shot.
All the time.
How did you discover the latte? How did that work?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A guy I work with, Pete, he came here and I was moving to Nanticoke. He's like, you gotta try Grateful Roast. Brian's awesome.
Nice.
And you're like a guru. And I'm like, ooh, guru. Okay, I'm down. I know what a latte was, so I'm like, all right, whatever.
Sweet. And then you discovered the most expensive item on the menu.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really? Damn.
After you're done with it, adding the extra shot. And
Jesus.
sweetness. Tim, you're new to the area.
I am. This area, yes.
How long have you been in Nanticoke?
I have been in Nanticoke for like a year and a half at this point, but I've been in Pennsylvania since 2013.
Okay, 2013. Cool.
Yes.
But you're not from Pennsylvania.
No, I am from Brazil.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm from Hawaii. I grew up in...
I was on that one, dude. I was buying
I was
it.
from Brazil.
So, Brazil, interesting. I didn't know this.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you born in Hawaii?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Why not Hawaii, baby? Max Holloway. Yes, all the way. Max Holloway, baby. Why not? UFC. Why not?
You said you were from Whittier as well.
I went to Whittier College.
Whittier College.
Whittier College. I was a poet, baby.
Did you leave? You left Hawaii to go to college?
Well, so yeah, I grew up in Hawaii, and I obviously, Hawaii people who want to go to college because, we want to get off the island because it's a rock for us. You guys, it's paradise. Us is like, when can we leave? When can we leave? And I went to Forest Grove, Oregon, my man.
All right.
And I was there for like 2.5, 3 weeks. And I was like, there's nobody here. There's nobody here.
Nobody in Forest Grove.
No. There's a lot of forests.
Yeah.
But there's no one. So
How far is that outside of Portland, roughly?
I have no idea.
It's not that far. All right. So growing up in Hawaii. So
yes.
Tell me what it was like to grow up on. It's a landlocked island.
Yeah, growing up in Hawaii is awesome. You get up. I took the beach for granted. Like I went to the beach so much, it was like, we're going to the beach again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of weird. And it's kind of weird. Like I grew up in a place called Waianae.
Waianae.
Yes, and like I don't know. I guess the most besides Max Holloway, probably Israel Kamaka Viva Ole would probably be the most famous person from Waianae.
So that's another name I don't recognize.
He's a singer. You ever heard of 50 First Dates with
Sure.
He that somewhere over the rainbow?
Oh yeah, the ukulele guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
Right.
the ukulele guy. Hawaii legend ukulele guy. That's so,
You're welcome.
that's like saying Eddie Vedder sucked right now, just so you know that.
Sure. I mean, Eddie Vedder does suck though. Keep it coming.
Eddie Vedder. Well, like I said, I grew up in Waianae. That was definitely a challenging childhood. But I was a boxer, so I stayed out of trouble. My brother and them were all on the streets. I was at the gym.
All right.
And I also went to Catholic school, so I had these like nuns on me, like, you need to succeed. You need to succeed. Your brothers are all failures. You need to succeed. And so I went to Catholic school, and I got lucky. I was blessed. I made it through high school. I was the first person in my family to go to college.
So was that all through? So grade school all the way through?
Yeah, I'm a lifer,
through?
man.
Okay.
Yeah. What's ironic is that my father's Jewish, so that's kind of weird. It was so weird.
I get it. Like we sent both of our kids through Catholic school.
Right.
Jews going to Catholic school.
Right. It's kind of weird. And my dad was a Eucharistic minister, and he had a yarmulke on, so that was even more weird. I was like, wait a minute, Dad.
Okay, so you were boxing too.
I did okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I did okay.
And
I won a couple fights here and there.
That was through the school?
No, that was through Waianae Boxing Club. Waianae Boxing Club. Well, actually, the only reason, to be honest, my goal in, I learned how to box because, I wanted to beat up my older brothers. So
Interesting.
yeah, and
Okay.
by the time I was 14, mission accomplished, baby.
Nice.
And then I boxed and played football in high school. I got lucky. I won, a Golden Gloves. Went to the Nationals. Got disqualified for swearing. Learned a very important lesson there. You
Okay.
don't swear in front of 10,000 people the year before the Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, and then they dismissed you right away.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
I didn't know I was 16 years old. I didn't know any better.
All right. So when did you become a comedian?
It wasn't until my first wife was going to buy me a stand-up comedy class. And there's this comedy legend in Hawaii called Andy Bumatai. Love that guy. And he had a comedy class, but it was $400. So I called my friend Augie T, a boxer. He was a boxer. I grew up with this kid who went to Tahiti. And I said, hey, Augie, is Andy's class worth $400? And he was like, you want to do comedy? I'm like, I would like it. He said, come to my next show next week with 3 minutes. 3 minutes. He said, if you suck, go take Andy's class. And I did. I got there. I got my little stopwatch. I went on for 3 minutes. I guess I didn't suck, and he let me come back. And then within a year, I was touring with Lanai and Augie, and I hung out with them until I moved here.
So it happened really quick. Then.
I got blessed. I didn't do open mics. I just from day one I was with the best.
And you were on a small island. I'm imagining competing with some pretty big.
Well, I mean, there's like 1 million people in Hawaii, so on Oahu. So, like I said, I got lucky. I didn't have to. Augie and Lanai gave me the opportunity, and they're still my friends today. And I got, I was blessed to work with them. I was blessed to tour with them, up and down the West Coast, Vegas, Guam. I went to Guam because of comedy. Augie is a state. Right now Augie is a Honolulu City Councilman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Augie's bad. He was a professional fighter. He was, Hawaii's top comedian for like 20 years. And like I predict on this show right now that Augie Toba will be governor of Hawaii one day. Augie Toba. I'm saying this right now. He's running for re-election in Ewa Beach, city councilman. Augie Toba, baby.
That's what's up.
So yeah, he gave me my shot. Him and Lanai Tobora. If you want reference for him and his brother and Sean Felipe won the Great American Food Truck Race.
Oh, sick.
The Aloha Plate.
Okay.
So those guys, I hung out with those guys, and I got lucky.
What's the food truck scene like in Hawaii?
Oh, it's huge. Hawaii, you gotta hustle. Everybody is doing something. You got a food truck. You washing houses. You selling fish on the side of the road. You fighting chickens. Everybody is doing something. You know what I mean? There's casinos all over Hawaii. You just don't know it. You just don't know it because you're not invited.
Right.
So, yeah, everyone in Hawaii has a hustle. So that was my hustle. Comedy, and I was Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus.
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, I was 400 pounds. Had to use something.
400 pounds.
I was. 420 was the biggest I ever was.
That's a good number.
Yeah, well, I went to college. I had gastric sleeve.
All right.
Yeah, I put my stomach on a permanent timeout.
Hell yeah.
Forever. Because, I don't want to die.
Because you want to live.
Right. I got myself a new wife.
And there's the trajectory, the longer you're alive, the funnier you get.
Well, hopefully. I mean, I went back to Hawaii right before COVID hit. My brother was dying, and he was huge too, And so I saw him, and I, told myself I don't want to go out like that.
Okay.
So I decided to turn the life around and cut out the stomach and eat healthy and OD on caramel sugar-free latte.
All right, so you're doing comedy.
Yes, I'm doing comedy. I got lucky. Like I said, I was hanging with the best. I'm doing comedy. They brought me on their radio show. Lanai and Augie's radio show was huge. They were like number 2, number 3 in Hawaii. They were like huge. So I got to do that. That was cool. And then Augie made a TV show. And so we did, I was on the Augie TV show.
Huh.
I got lucky.
Is this public access or is
no? Well, I think it was on it was a local TV, K5
local
TV,
syndicate,
but it was like a
syndicated?
CBS or I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
And then we went statewide radio. Augie's radio show was the first show to go statewide. I was just a sidekick. I was the guy who could say all the things that he couldn't say because he's the lead guy and you can't really say that. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
So how long did that go for?
Oh, I ran with them for 10 years almost.
10 years,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. The last time I came back, I went back to Hawaii two years ago, and I headlined the Blue Note in Waikiki, and Champ and Lanai was on that show with me, so that was awesome.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And you're going back again.
I am, and I just found out now that I am going to do another show in Waikiki at the Blue Moon. I don't know if I'm headlining or I'm just opening from somebody else, but I don't care.
Right.
I just like the fact that I get to go home on vacation and jump off the plane and boom, Waikiki, baby, main strip. So I'm good with that. Yes.
All right. So how long did you do comedy for?
I did. I've been doing comedy for 21 years now.
So you're funny as hell.
I try to be. Not always.
No, I mean
Not always.
I haven't seen you really turn it on yet. I haven't been able to go.
Well, yeah, our
shows.
Relationship is right now,
But what I'm saying, you were sitting here at one of the tables the other day, and you're just kind of touching some of your material.
Sure.
It's hilarious.
I try.
Yeah.
I try.
It was.
We are the average of the 5 people we surround ourselves with, I think, in life, period.
Sure.
And this is a serious thing. And I find when I surround myself with clean comics who are funny and who have high comics, then I tend to do that. If I hang out with, that's why I don't go to open mics, because I don't want to hang out with the guys who are just swearing and using. I don't need to. I'm a high school teacher. I can't be talking about some stuff that these people talk about. I got a mortgage, man. I can't cancel my mortgage. Sorry, I can't pay my mortgage because I said something stupid. Saturday night.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's smart. You are kind of an amalgamation of the, you are the food you eat. More
Sure.
or less. So if you're surrounding yourself by some like low bar comedy, I can see that definitely affecting
And
you.
it does affect me. I'm not gonna lie, it does affect me. I mean, because that's what it is. So now I try to surround myself with some people who are, clean, very productive.
So what are some of the clubs you played around here so far?
Oh, I'm playing huge clubs, like sold out, like Makanako Sportsman's Club.
Shout out Mock.
You know what I mean? Last night I did the other night I did the Golden Girls, basically in like the Broadway Tavern on the mountaintop.
Yeah.
I went in there. It was like everyone's like 80. I was like, oh my god.
And the Broadway has some like real history too.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
They've been doing that for forever. Like Sarah's mom used to work there.
Really?
When she was, yeah.
They kind of liked me, and they kind of did. They hated my opening act, though. The first guy, they hated him.
That's too bad.
It's okay. It was and I've done I like to do small venues here because I like to bring comedy to the community. You know what I mean? First of all, and also I'm not gonna lie, I can make more money in a small bar than I can at the casino because the overhead's so big. But I've done it like Halftime in Swarsville. I've done it at a lot of the VFWs, Kingston, Kingston VSW, Swarsville. There's this like place in Scranton, this big castle-looking thing, and just all over the place.
So you went from playing pretty much a big metro area.
Oh my God! Well, see.
So how did you go from Hawaii to NEPA?
Warrants. You gotta hide from the cops. You come to NEPA because no cops in Hawaii ever heard of Wilkes-Barre. They sure as hell haven't heard of Nanticoke, I think. So my ex-wife and I were both high school teachers in Hawaii, and we had 4 kids. And when we split, she moved here. So either I make new kids,
Okay.
or I move to Pennsylvania.
So she moved to PA, and
She's from PA. She was born and raised in Wilkes-Barre, so
okay.
I moved here.
And she's your ex-wife?
My ex-wife. Yes.
Okay.
She moved here. I moved here, and I didn't think I was gonna be a teacher, though. I tell you that.
Didn't think you were going to be a teacher?
Not when I moved here. I heard it was like impossible to get a job here. I heard you had to give somebody an envelope or something.
It's pretty tough to get a job as a teacher. I mean,
Not
I've seen
anymore.
that. So you're teaching. You just got your master's too.
I did. I went back for my master's of special education, which is ironic because I was special ed. So that's kind of weird. I used to a couple summers ago. I got out of the blue. I did a gig with Peaches Rodriguez from New York. Real funny comic. And then she hits me up out of nowhere. She's like, "Hey, you want to do some voiceovers?" I'm like, "Sure."
Hell yeah.
And so yeah, thank you, Peaches. By the way, some guy calls me up and he's like, "There's a Samoan character he wants to do for some battle at Gettysburg thing."
Oh wow.
So I hooked up my sound system in the bathroom, kind of like how you're doing here, but not in the bathroom because you're cooler than me. You know what I'm saying? I had a sink and like a tub. And I just busted this thing out, and I got like $500 a
That's
session.
sick, dude.
Yeah,
That's sick.
Yeah.
I know a lot of podcasters will start out in their closet,
Right.
And because it's soundproof, like
Sure,
it's a sound studio. So I'd imagine it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We used to do when Augie, I did the Augie radio show statewide. We did it out of his house in Eva Beach,
That's
and we went to every island. It was awesome. I go to his house before school because I even changed what school I worked at to kind of do that because the school I used to work at Radford High School. Radford High School was the feeder school for Pearl Harbor and Hickam Air Force Base.
Okay.
So I had a lot of military kids. That was a great job, man, because those kids would listen no matter what.
Yeah.
Because if you call their dad and say, Johnny did this today, and
not
dad
funny.
doesn't do anything about it, you call dad's commander and, hey, Johnny's dad didn't do anything, and next thing you know, Johnny's dad is making Johnny do whatever the commander tells
Yeah,
Johnny.
no, I'm figuring there's probably a lot of corporal.
Oh. You call Hawaii parents?
Oh man.
Johnny never come to school today. Yeah, I know. He was working with me. Click. You know what I mean? Not the military parents.
So what's up with the spam, dude? Spam everywhere in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's a culture. Well, World War II. Yeah, you guys didn't send us meat. You know what I mean? You guys didn't send. We were like last on the list. You know what I mean? So like we had to bring in spam because there's a shortage of, and it's cheap. So we got creative.
And I watched something on Discovery Channel or something, one of the food shows, and it was all spam.
We have a spam jam in Waikiki. Like they closed down like 2 streets for like a mile and a half, 4 stages. All of the big artists in Hawaii and like just like a big huge orgy of spam. It's unbelievable. They call it the Waikiki Spam Jam.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I know, from the people that I've talked to who grew up in Hawaii, and I know a few people over the years that have spent time there. why are they so hard on the mainlanders when the tourists and stuff when they come visit?
Because we jealous. Straight up, dude. You guys are smarter than us. You can speak more English than us. You got better credit than us. You guys own more land than us. Okay.
I thought they smelled funny or something.
No, we're just jealous. Plus,
okay, and then you have a lot of the like surf spots. I know that the locals in the ocean.
Yeah, territorial.
Very
That's
territorial.
tribalism. That's like anywhere. I used to live in East LA, bro. There's no certain places. I know. I don't go to like Hacienda Heights. I stay out of that place. I stay in Whittier.
Whittier.
That's it. But same thing. Territorial. I mean, trust me. I don't think we should go back to the monarchy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I'm an American.
I mean, we're getting real tribal. Like the
America is too tribal.
Super tribal.
Very tribal. And even though I am a keiki okaina, I'm a child of Hawaii, and I do believe in my culture, and I'm so looking forward to taking my new wife to Hawaii and exposing her to my culture. I also, appreciate who I am now, and I would not be who I am if it wasn't for the United States of America. So I mean, come to Hawaii, spend as much money as you can. Just be careful. Just because it looks nice doesn't mean they're not going to steal your car.
Steal your rental car.
Yes. People go to like the beach. This is so beautiful. Let's go take a walk. They come back, car's gone. My brother Max is driving. Like, yeah.
So, what's the biggest challenge? Being a Hawaiian in the mainland.
Not being around Asian people.
There are not a lot of Asian people.
There are not a lot of Asian people.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. There is no challenge because my wife keeps reminding me that I am white, and I am white. I get it, but. I guess for me, the hardest thing for being here is that I did not get to live in the same space as my parents in their golden years. Okay. That's the biggest loss for me because they're in Hawaii. So for me, that's the biggest thing. But I cannot knock being here because like I said, man, this valley has blessed me. People here are nice.
It's crazy how cool this area really is.
People talk crap about here. Like, everyone's negative. No one has any ambition. That's a lie. Yeah. Go to the casino. Everyone got money.
And ambition.
Right. Everyone's, come on, baby, come on.
My wife and I like to hike and get outdoors and like it's comparable to Oregon as far as like being able to hit the trail and just be in some beautiful landscapes like real easily. You could drive 5 minutes and you're in the middle of nowhere.
Agreed.
And you can't do that like anywhere.
Most places.
Yeah. So.
No.
Except for Hawaii, though.
Not necessarily. See, the big difference, I'm not going to lie. I do want to be like you. I want to explore the wilderness and go out there, except there's bears. There's no bears in Hawaii every night.
There's erupting volcanoes? Yeah,
I've seen lava, like live lava. Yeah,
that's kind of sketch.
Well, I mean, the ground shakes, you leave.
But the evacuation time probably cuts quick.
True. Yeah, you just move quickly. Like my brother, then when Big Island erupted 2 years ago, they were like, "Look at this lava just flowing down the road,"
crazy. And
they're like live streaming it on Facebook. Check this out. Lava's like 8-9 feet deep, and I'm like, I wouldn't be there.
Like, could you roast marshmallows? Like, walk out your front door?
There's actually people who do stupid stuff like that. They'll walk up to the lava and they'll like try to cook something. And usually tourists. Sorry, local people. We stay away from that. That's pele because that's Hawaiian culture is polytheistic.
Okay.
And one of the gods is Pele, so you don't want to be cooking marshmallow on Pele's hair because the lava is supposedly her hair.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. The original inhabitants of Hawaii, so they're seafaring people, I'd imagine.
Sure. They're oceanic. Hawaii came from Tahiti.
Tahiti.
Yeah, Tahiti was where the original people came from, and they used the stars to travel.
Okay.
They were like the people of Polynesia in general. Because Polynesia is like a whole area. You have like Tonga, Samoa, Fiji. Marianas Islands, you have Micronesia. They're all in that whole Polynesian area. They all use canoes and,
That's so crazy just to think about how much they had spread and, like, populated. It's just crazy to think that, like, way before we even had, like, Western civilization, there were people that were absolutely navigating the seas with ease.
True.
Without any trouble at all.
True. And they use angles. They use geometry and stars. And the interesting thing is, like, the stars that they saw 3, 4, 5,000 years ago aren't the same stars anymore.
Interesting.
You cannot navigate that way anymore because the math of the angles have changed because the way our world spins and the world turns and the orbit, like that alignment isn't the same anymore.
That map is different.
Right. That's why whenever we map something online and they actually map it, they give it a date. So like now when they reference it through the computers, they put in a date of that picture, and then the computer automatically gets a logarithm and finds out where that current installation is today in comparison to where it was back then. It's crazy math.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so now you're teaching, and you've got a master's degree.
I do.
And you're comedianing.
I try.
And so what's going on for you, like in this area? Like how are you enjoying exploring and?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's so interesting. So for me, this last 2 years has been a big transformation. You know, I started this vision 5 years ago. Like, you know, I decided to like, you know, embrace this area, embrace my life, and I made some goals, and I have achieved those goals. So now it's like, okay, I have to reassess what's the next step. I mean, do I try to take it up, you know, do I go from like Makanako Sportsman's Club to like, I don't know, upping it up to like, I don't know, Nanticoke? You know what I mean? But so I'm not sure where I want to go with the comedy right now. I do know that I've been in it long enough that like I either should gas all the way or stop.
Yeah,
So
I'd probably say you want to gas.
that's what I told my wife today. We were literally talking about this on the way. You know, I'm going to narrow the scope of the people I work with. Definitely that, because you know we are the average of the 5 people, and I want to choose. There's a lot of comics in this area. A lot of them are funny, but they're not the brand that I want.
Right. Well, how do you write material? Like what? Like
sometimes I don't. I go on stage and just bam.
Sure. Like
You know,
crowd
lately,
work and things
yeah.
like that.
Lately I've been, you know, very loose. Like I have a certain, you know, there's like I assure you, my comedy had to change tremendously when I moved here, because a lot of the cultural stuff that I can do in Hawaii you can't do here, you know. And now that I'm a teacher in, you know, the continental United States, you know what I'm saying, parents in Hawaii, they don't care. They're not gonna call the media here. You know, somebody record me and you know what he said at this show. So like, you know, I want to make sure I'm like,
You gotta monitor yourself.
sure, you know, I have to make sure that I don't have verbal diarrhea.
You know, hopefully you're able to still keep authentic though.
Well,
you know?
yeah. Well, I mean,
because you're not. I don't know. Are you sacrificing your own personal style for what other people are kind of expecting?
well, no, because I started off as a clean comic.
You started off as a clean
Yeah,
comic.
Augie, we weren't allowed to swear. We weren't even allowed to. I shouldn't say we weren't allowed. It was unprofessional for him. He has a brand, and I respect them. He is artist. Augie was an artist. Lanai, artist. You know, they had a brand, and they wanted to make sure that they weren't tarnishing their brand by having us do content that was inappropriate for kids. You know, we did gigs at high schools. You know what I mean? I had to talk to like high school kids.
Right.
So like that was who I was in the mainstream. And here, you know, 25-year-olds in Nanticoke doesn't want to hear some of the things that, you know, I talk about because they're not gonna laugh. It's not funny.
Right. Well, if you didn't really start, if you're not a dirty comedian just naturally, then you know.
Right. Well, I was a theater teacher. There's different levels of comedy.
You were
know,
a theater techer too.
That's my first teaching job was in Huntington Beach, California.
See, we missed that whole section there. So
Yes.
I didn't know you taught theater. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
my first, I majored in political science and theater arts. Okay. And then I went to Whittier Law School. I went to law school for 2 years.
I thought it was a Whittier Community College.
No, first of all, I went to Whittier, I went to Whittier College in Southern California.
Okay.
John Greenleaf Whittier. In fact, there's a school up in Scranton, I think, called Whittier Elementary School.
Okay.
And I majored in poli-sci, and I minored in theater arts. And I went to law school for 2 years and decided I am not going to be a lawyer. When I was in law school, I was working for a law firm called Shutter, Cayetano, and Glickstein.
Okay.
Cayetano was the governor of Hawaii. So, like, I was in, like, a good spot where, like, I could have made a lot of money. But I had some friends calling me up from my childhood, asking me legal advice I preferred not to talk to anymore. You know what I mean? And
Wrong number.
Right. I saw it. I'm like, bro, I'm still in college. Why are you calling me? You got, like, this is tap. Don't call me. Don't call me. Click. You know what I mean?
Great caller.
Right. And I kind of saw my future, and I did not want that. So I decided to go and get my, you know, teaching credential, and I became a teacher. I started teaching at Marina High School in Huntington Beach, California.
Sick.
Theater arts.
So living in California, and then you went back to Hawaii?
Oh, that was great. Yeah. I was 20, I was a high school teacher at 25 years old. I was living in Southern California. I had zero bills. This was during the early 90s. Life was awesome.
Seriously.
Yes, it was fun. I was irresponsible. No, it was great. And then my mom got sick, so I moved back to Hawaii. And, God, she's still alive. She's still kicking it. She's doing great. I got a job as a special education teacher. Had to get recertified all over again
Sure.
to teach special ed. And then while I was at Radford, I asked him, I said, can I do a play? And he said, yeah. So I did a play called A Teenager Is.
A Teenager Is.
Yeah. And this school hasn't had a play in like 25 years, okay? They have not seen theater at all. So I come in with a play written by teenagers that dealt with drugs, suicide. I had 2 kids OD on stage. I had a guy like fake commit suicide on stage, and I fired a blank gun in the back, and the whole audience went, oh my God! Like they thought it was real. It was awesome.
Wow.
I almost got fired. It was so awesome.
Beautiful.
Right. I spent like $3,000 of my own money because I had zero budget, but I was blessed. Had this colonel whose son was in my play. And like some parents complained because, the topics, I went all in. Yeah, I went all in. And he loved it. And he talked to the principal, and Hickam Air Force Base refunded me the $3,000 I spent on the play. And my principal offered me the job as a theater teacher the next year, and I started doing theater and special ed.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got lucky. I swung for the fence in that one. I hit it.
So do you have any like rituals that you do that keep you growing, as a creative? Because obviously you're a creator.
That's a good question. Do I have a ritual? I do know I have a. Every time.
What keeps you going? Is what like do you what keeps you?
That's a tough one. As a comedian or just as a human being?
As an artist. Because I mean, you're telling me that.
Because I'll tell you,
because you're coming up with these things. You're basically bringing them up from your spirit. So
right.
You see that there's.
Yeah, I'm a cheap bastard, and so like I don't like paying psychologists so stuff like that. So like if someone's gonna pay me to talk to them, hey bro, it's it's simple math.
Sure.
So I save money on therapy for one. Making people laugh is like the best feeling in the world. Besides being with my wife, I love you.
I see what he did there.
Right, you like that? Yeah. Gotta throw that in there. But I love making people laugh. I mean, I love it's a power trip. I'm not gonna any comedian that says it's not competitive is a liar or lazy, because you want it's a drug. And I could be in a show and like everyone could be laughing, but there's that one person in the corner not laughing, and that's all I see. That's what I see, which is kind of sad for everybody else, but like my own insecurity.
So you're so insecure that what keeps you going is people not enjoying what you're doing.
Well, that's so narcissistic, yeah? He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist. He loved it.
Of course.
I was the youngest of 5 boys. I need the attention. Nobody cared what I was doing. Nobody cared what I was doing growing up until like I got good like football and boxing. Like once I was in a varsity as a sophomore and we won state champions. Like, oh my God, my brother. Yeah, before that, I could care less. So like, yeah, I guess as a kid growing up, fighting for attention was difficult. Sure. I like making people laugh. And humor for me was a way out of the whole crazy situation that I grew up in. Either you lose your mind or you find the humor in life. And so I decided to find the humor in life.
That's smart.
I could be bitter. Why not? I'm grateful. I'm living my best life in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania.
That's a big testament.
I know everyone says
what you're doing right now.
Bad.
No, I mean to what you're doing right now, just where you're at. You're still pushing forward. You just pulled your master's degree.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but like you're not stagnant. You continue to move and grow, and that's why I'm excited to have you here because you're funny as shit.
I appreciate that.
And I think you're only continuing to grow and to push forward and to make not only your life a little bit better, but also anybody who's able to witness you and to be around you, you're enriching their lives too. And that's to me that makes most entrepreneurs that I really like to talk with and the people that I like to sit down with are the people that are making a positive impact on the world. They're actually progressing and making it better. And you're one of those people.
I appreciate it. And I think that, positivity breeds positivity. If I'm going to be successful, then you need to be successful. And everybody I surround myself with needs to be successful. So whatever I can do to support you and you can support me, that's it's a give and take. I mean, that's, I'm not out here to beat you or anyone else. I'm out here to raise, myself and whoever else wants to come along for the ride.
Oh yeah. Any other crazy stories you want to?
Not that I want to talk about on camera. No, not, I mean, no, I don't know. I have, dude. I can tell you. I can tell you crazy stories. I can tell you very crazy stories. But
Well, we could save for another time too. I think we've got enough footage.
yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. I definitely do. I appreciate the time. I will say this to your listeners. I mean, I come to Grateful Roast because I like the product first and foremost, and I like the vibe. You know what I mean? And I believe in supporting small businesses.
Thanks, man.
And I spend my money where my heart is.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Peace, my brother. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Grateful Roast, baby.
And thank you everybody for tuning in and watching this episode. I appreciate it. Click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. If you've made it this far, or don't. I don't give a shit. All right. Thank you.
Peace.